Blessings, beloveds. Welcome back. I just want to spend about 10 minutes or 15 talking about the Chinese New Year corresponding to the water tiger. I meant to add this into my new moon video and I completely got sidetracked and forgot. So I thought I'd come back and just make a few comments. I don't have much time, so I just want to kind of encourage you to think about the key points that I'm going to make, because the interesting thing to always consider when you're looking at huge cycles is thinking about, well, what happened the last time we had a water tiger? And so the first thing is that the water tiger last occurred in 1962. That's actually 60 years ago, right? So it's quite a long time ago in historical timelines and things like that. There's a lot of things to sort of say about the Chinese zodiac. There are 12 signs. They do correspond to matters of heaven and earth, as it were. They all have elements, just like the Western zodiac. We have the earth, air, water, and fire. They have earth, air, water, wood, I think it is. So there's a few things that I don't have the time to go into today. But anyway, the point is that we are in a water tiger year. Now, the tiger is, one of the most revered animals in the culture of China. And it is also considered the animal that actually, sort of gets rid of evil, if you like, right? Think about the tiger. It's in its natural land, in its inhabitant, and just the absolute reverence and power and strength that it has, right? It is quite an exotic animal, and everyone wants to be a tiger, when they're thinking about what's my Chinese zodiac. The tiger is actually, there's a lot of things to say about it, but some very obvious things are that it's incredibly courageous. It has incredible strength. It has incredible resilience and energy, right? Energy is a really key word. Energy and courage are the sort of the major key words to think about when we're thinking about the water tiger. The water element would have a very sort of distinctive correspondence relative to the Chinese culture and the history around the Chinese astrology. But from the Western point of view, I was thinking about this just last night, and I was thinking, well, water always corresponds to the soul, so I kind of feel that this water tiger energy is enabling us to tap into the deepest courage actually of our soul. And that couldn't be more necessary or appropriate at the times that we are facing at the moment. Look at the movement that started in Canada with all the truck drivers and loads of other people following on with their cars and so forth. And, it's taken off around the world. As I said, it started here in Australia as well. Yesterday, they all ended up in Canberra, the capital of Australia, right in front of Parliament House. That is, thousands of people were there. And it was just a very interesting, quite a historical moment, actually, just to witness what took place there. I don't have time to go into it, but it was indeed a bunch of tigers, but tigers that were not there to promote violence or anything of that nature. They were very peaceful tigers, but they were very protective tigers. That is that, there were children there were mothers, there were families, and, there was a very strong presence of the masculine tiger, if you like, in the front of the line, protecting the family, protecting the children, the mothers, and so forth, because there was at one stage a particular scene where an authority member decided to present some scene where he was going to try to intimidate the crowd, and he had a very large instrument. I don't really want to say the name, so if you can just imagine what they normally use, we'll imagine that in a really big form. So there was this really interesting scene that took place there, and what happened with that very quickly was that one person just came to the front and just stood right in front of that authority figure and just said, basically what you're doing is totally disgusting. We are here at peace. We have the right to freedom of speech, etc., etc. And then there was a herd of of tigers that came along and stood and created sort of a barrier towards the mothers and the children behind them. And they just pretty much said, you know, go for it. You'll have to get through me to get through the rest. So there was just this incredible scene. Lots of things like that are going on in Canada. There's lots of things going on in Europe. There's lots of things going on. So this is a year where the tiger energy, which it is so much about energy and courage, it is initiating in all of us the courage to stand in our truth and our power and our sovereignty. I've said this over and over again through many different videos that I've done, but the tiger year is really amplifying the necessity of that tiger heart in all of us to show our courage. So many people are shitting themselves, they're terrified, scared, you know, and it is time to stand up. It's time to stand up and show the courage of your heart. That's what the tiger brings us close to, right? So think about what was going on in the 60s. There was lots of events going on. I just had a quick look at the timeline. There's loads of things going on, you know, economically, politically, huge things. Some things weren't so pleasant. Some things were unbelievable. We had the whole 60s hippie movement, as they called it. And what were those people protesting about? They were protesting about love and unity. You know, that one of the most famous slogans for that era was promoting love, not war, you know. Let's make love, not war. That, in fact, that was the exact slogan. And it's very interesting because having observed the thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions worldwide of people, yes, there's been, you know, incidents where there's been apparent violence or aggression, and yes, it has come through both sides, but there has been the dominant force actually has been the drive and motivation to unite and to speak through love and to win through love. Actually, it hasn't been a collaboration around violence, aggression, and so forth, you know, because let's face it, America, for example, you know, you guys have all got licensed guns. We don't have that here in Australia. So if America really wanted to take that stance, you know, of creating war, the freaking whole country, everyone has a gun there, you know. So these are things they're important points to consider, because that option is there, but people are not going there. People are actually coming from the heart, and they're saying, look, we need and want to be free. That is our sovereign right, you know. And so anyway, fast forward, you know, a 2-year sort of journey where there's been tremendous tyranny, suppression, you know, livelihoods lost, etc., etc. We've really reached a climax, you know, where we all need to unite. We all just need to stand up. There's no two ways about it. There's no way around that. There has to be a unison collectively. And that's, again, you know, rapidly growing more and more each day. But relative to just our own inner evolution and growth and development from the point of view of the water tiger year, it is a time to step into your own courage, even just from the point of view of your own life and what you are actually creating in your own life. You know, where do you need to inject courage into? What is it that you need to step into and show up into with like tremendous courage? Well, this is the time to do it. It's the water tiger year. So it's a really important time. The other thing that I noticed as well was that, and I'm just going to be looking out of this book in case you're wondering, it's just an ephemeris basically. So as opposed to going to the computer, I find the ephemeris is a lot quicker actually. In the 60s, in fact in 1962, which was the exact time of the water tiger year, the first new moon that occurred then, which was the same thing, it was a Chinese New Year representing the water tiger. We're back at that period right now, 60 years later. It's pretty significant. It is very interesting to note that the new moon at that time was also conjunct Saturn. So in other words, Saturn was in Aquarius at that time as well. We're having a new moon at the moment in Aquarius conjunct Saturn. It's the same pattern repeating. And look at the main themes that are coming up in the world today. people are fighting to keep their sovereign freedom rights, and they are doing it with love, because the most of the demonstrations that even have taken place with the whole truck and truckers and so on and so forth, even in Canada, I saw, tremendous scenes and videos. People are just basically hugging each other and oozing energy of love and happiness and joy. They're not allowing the darker sort of angry tyranny, control, suppression systems and processes to break their spirit, because the human spirit is resilient. You can't, they might block roads. So I saw that they put nails on the roads, actual hundreds and hundreds of nails to actually intervene with, cars passing through. This was in Canada, actually. So there's lots of things like that going on, which are just really a stronger reinforced validation to all of us how much, there is an absolute desperate need to try and stop people from coming together. Why? Because when people come together in unity, there is power. Because there is power in love, there is strength in love. That's where the greatest source of power and strength comes from love, not from anger and violence and suppression and all that sort of stuff. So the more that this collective unison takes place, the more these systems are going to crumble. And that's what's happening every second of the day. It seems like it's not in a lot of ways. It seems some people say, oh, this is a waste of time. This is hopeless. It's not getting us anywhere. Nothing's changing. It is making an impact. Things are changing. They're just not changing as quickly as we want them to. And certainly from the point of view of what appears relative to mainstream media, they're not going to show you what the significance of the unison of humanity coming together. They're not going to talk about that. They're not going to promote that. They're going to promote their story. What's their story about? We all know what it's about. Don't need to go into it. So those are just some things that I wanted us to kind of draw from and let it inspire you, to really tap into the deepest courage from within your own heart, and the heart is Leo, and Leo is the lion that connects to, in the terms of the animal kingdom, it's part of that family, isn't it? Right. So we're talking about a very similar vibration. And the tiger is, it's an unbeatable force to be reckoned with, so that vibration is emanating on the entire globe, right? And it is up to us to take that, to step into that, to show up with that, to show up in our own life, so that we can be an example for everybody else. That's how we make a difference, by walking the walk, right, and not just talking the talk. So this is a time to do it. I don't know what else to say. This is the time to do it. So it's exciting times. I'm not saying that the Tiger Year is going to, switch things around in the exact way that we want them. The fact of the matter is that the reality moving forward is going to be very different to the reality we've lived previously. There's no two ways about that. But we have a say in what is going to be created and what is going to unfold. And the way we do that is through unison and through love, and not through fear, and not through, just kind of sitting in the corner and praying that things will stop and things will end and things will change, or, I've had enough of this, I'm sick of this. Well, we're all fucking sick of it, but, we need to participate. We need to participate in a timeline of our future that is safe and protects our children. That's what we need to do. So, Tiger, bring on the tiger energy. It's just magnificent, and let it inspire you. Let it draw the deepest courage from your own heart, and it aligns, of course, with the new moon that we're having right now. As I said before, that's when the Chinese New Year always corresponds to the first new moon. The first new moon in Aquarius, I believe. Yes. And so, there it is, lining up with Saturn. So, the scenes that I saw yesterday in Canberra, in the capital of Australia, that was the people, right? Aquarius is the people. and Saturn's there as well. So what are the people up against? They're up against Saturn. I think the main thing to always remember about Saturn, we only experience it as a force outside of ourselves, um, coming at us in a way of trying to, as it feels, trying to oppress and suppress. And that's merely because we are not owning our own Saturn authority within. So all these Capricorn energies lining up, Mercury is about to go direct in Capricorn. It's going to catch up to Pluto. Venus has just gone direct in Capricorn. She's going to catch up to Mars and Pluto. There's, a big stellium of Capricorn energies. And so given that we've had Pluto in Capricorn since 2008, which has been a deconstruction of old systems, and this just abundance of Capricorn energy at the moment with two very significant personal planets, Mercury and Venus, both having gone retrograde and dancing around in the sign of Capricorn for quite some time. And, as we know, Venus has been in Capricorn since November 2021. It's there for a specific purpose, and it is there for us to really invoke within us the deeper understanding of Capricorn, that is our own authority. We cannot be the author of our life if we give away our power to the external forces in reality. We have to be aligned. That's the only way to do it. So being aligned means being your own author of your life and co-creating in a collective manner, through truth and love. Actually, that's the most powerful force. It doesn't matter what appears on the external. That external layer, which corresponds very much to the let's, for lack of a better word, the ego, the personality. When that is out of sync with the soul, that's when we see, cataclysmic, chaotic crisis and stuff going on, because there's an imbalance, and the imbalance is a collective imbalance. And then it comes down to our own individual imbalances that we have within ourselves. Remember, it always comes back to whatever's going on in here is going on out there. So a lot of what we're seeing is just our own shadow imbalances, imperfections, ego, insatiable greed, desires, all that sort of stuff. And it's just gotten way, 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 way out of sync. So courage, strength, energy, time to stand up to your truth, align with the soul. Grab that tiger and, let them hear your roar. It's your voice. Our voice matters. Everyone's voice matters. No one should be suppressing people's voices. And that's exactly what's been happening for 2 years. The censorship and suppression is mind freaking boggling. You can't even post a quote from somebody like Martin Luther King without being blocked and your social media platform being restricted or coming under the radar. It happened to me. I posted a quote of Martin Luther King, and I was warned that this information is false and my account will be restricted, etc., etc., etc. I mean, if we get used to that kind of oppression, that kind of censorship, and just accept that as the norm, then we've totally lost touch with our own power. We've totally lost touch with what's important, with ethics, with morals, with truth, with justice, with fairness, and with equality. And the sun in Aquarius is all about fairness and equality, and so is this new moon. So that Saturn conjunct that new moon, becoming our own authority, and the tiger giving you the courage to do so. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you all very, very soon. It was just a quick one for today. I hope it gave you some inspiration. Much love, much blessings. Bye for now.